Good evening, Nigeria. Welcome to Updated Precious. Sincere apologies. So, our guests, Dr. Catch, they find them a bit difficult with network to join us, and we've been troubleshooting all along. Now, waiting, make they start late. Please bear with us. Now, because of say it is difficult for them, but if it is so bad, if you just make a phone conversation because we need an input for all of the conversation we say we won't get tonight, and we no go fit talk say because of network, we no go make them happen. Welcome to the show, by the way. Another day to talk about things that they happen for inside Nigeria, politics, governance, as they shape your life and my life. Now, so we dey carry talk. My name is Precious Inye, and it always sweets my belly well to bring on a matter them where they share for inside Nigeria. Ngwa sharply. Make a begin go bring on an update of some things them with the share for inside Nigeria. So, hey, as it is hot like this exclusive carry names, full profiles of 16 Nigerian military officers where they detain for the coup plot we then talk say happen. We go tell you their identity, their full names, their everything. As I tell you, you go carry your hand, they do your own by your own self. But that matter, now we won't talk about this evening. Plus other matter than we they share for inside the country. We can't allow crises that began in 2009 to persist. Tinubu don't tell service chiefs them. So we're gonna gather on a belt well. You see, Nigerians expect results, not excuses. That's what Tinubu don't tell new service chiefs. That one day we go also look into and talk about wella. And then make will enter inside part of other conversations we will look at. Makes troops welfare top priority in Dume don't tell new service chiefs. Then he did another exclusive where I get for corner where I won't bring for now. Hey, this coup plot matter is serious person I think I'm because Air Force officer detailed to kill Ribado in fault coup plot. In mean identity don't come out. Yeah. This one not be me carry am according to the cable. Now so the news reporter. You know, say I need to carry news when I no get evidence. So now it be that one. Hey, that is person will be say the details. Okay, when this could happen, you know you go kill this one, you know you go kill this one. The person was supposed to kill Ribado. In matter day there. We'll go talk about them when the time reach. All right, we move on to other things. INEC don't give update on registration of ADA, 7 other political parties where they seek for registration. We'll also talk about that matter. Meanwhile, for inside the Enugu state, we hear say all reps members then don't defect to APC. In fact, the entire Enugu state caucus for inside the House of Representatives don't move enter inside APC. It shock you? You know, shock some people. Tinubu don approve 15% import tariff on petrol, diesel, fuel. So fuel prices may now rise by 150 naira. So if fuel price before na 920 naira, add 150 naira inside, now about 1070 or thereabouts. Now I'm going to buy fuel now. As I make I give on the good news. Okay, APC chief begs Tinubu to disapprove 5% fuel import tariff. Not going to inside another matter again. Tinubu feeling miserable because I told Trump to designate Nigeria as country of particular concern. Who talked this one? U.S. Senator Ted Cruz mocks Tinubu. How dare you mock a president like that? What Senator, what dare? How dare you? In fact, I like Nigerians. You know, so we defend ourselves well. We go gather and where we're going page now. Good defend them well. Now, let's move on to other issues very quickly. This story, bandits attack another Kaduna community, kidnap 9 residents as monarch flees. Monarch, the man waiting in charge of the place, Otilo, he carrying him hair in heels. He don't run come out. I beg these bandits, his cannot come and can. All right, gunmen abduct several residents, including 6-month-old baby in Kaduna community's coordinated attacks. Oh, now wow, it shocked you. My shock is tired of being shocked. So I don't even know how to be shocked again inside this matter. But then all this matter and more I will carry comfortable for now this evening. And I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who joined us. I don't know whether Dr. Catch said it. Dr. Catch, good evening and thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Catch, can you hear us? Good evening, Dr. Catch. Can you hear us, sir? This our village people. They no go let person dey great at all. Eh? They no go let person dey great at all. It be like say last na phone call, na this thing go end because I don't understand. why we no go fit do get our conversation in one piece. Okay, all right, because I would really love Dr. Katz to join us before we start the conversation proper, so that him go fit, put mouth for the side where be saying go on put mouth for inside all the stuff where be say where they talk. Okay, let's see if I can begin straight to expose the matter them one by follow as they hot this evening. All right, good evening, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you very
All right, so let's just get started. I know you and I have a lot of gists to gists. Welcome, first of all. It's been a long time. Welcome, and thank you for obliging us. So first, we'll go talk about, before we go to go politics, waiting be the status of the ADC coalition right now, and waiting be the possibility of the coalition coming together to fight the ruling party, because people don't advise, say, between Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Goodluck Jonathan, say the three of them supposed to join forces, bring out one of them to use fight Tinubu, and the rest of them support that person for 2027. So before we talk about that one, but let's just talk about this recent coup plot issue, because it's a little bit more serious than people think about it. Now, here I have an exclusive from Premium Times of the 16 names and profiles of these people, and the names and profiles of the 16 officers detained because of this coup plot, including the person themselves when they talk, say they designate, and I suppose kill no rebuttal if the coup take place. So make I just reel them out small. So we here say, as military investigators continue probing the foiled coup plot against President Bola Tinubu's administration, now Premium Times has exclusively obtained details of the identities of the 16 of the top military officers allegedly involved in the failed attempt. Now, sources with details of the ongoing investigations earlier told the news medium that 14 of the 16 detained officers with regards to the coup plot are from the Nigerian army. The remaining two, they say, are from the Navy and the Air Force. So we get 14 from Nigerian Army, one Navy, one Air Force. Now, according to their sources, 12 of the 14 Army officers belong to the infantry coup, the Army's frontline combat unit, whose troops primarily engage in ground battles. One officer is from the Signals Corps, which manages military communications, while another serves in the Ordnance Corps, responsible for procuring, storing, and maintaining weapons, ammunition, vehicles, and other essential hardware. This matter is a serious matter. Now, the army officers include a brigadier general, a colonel, four lieutenant colonels, five majors, two captains, and a lieutenant or lieutenant. The remaining two are lieutenant commander from the Navy, the naval equivalent of a major, and a squadron leader from the Air Force, which holds the exact rank equivalents. I hope you understand this matter, sir. Now let's go down to their profile. Now the military and the Nigerian government have chosen to remain silent on the coup plot, because Nigerian government say they deny, say nothing don't happen. Military talk say no, na lie. But people talk say true, na coup, with the defense headquarters only stating that it was not the reason for the low-key independence anniversary on October 1. Now let's see their profile. One, Brigadier General Musa Abubakar Sadiq. He was born on January 1974, 3rd of January 1974. Mr. Sadiq is a brigadier general with service number. I don't know what I make a call the service number, but make a leave him. It don't really matter. Trained as an NDA cadet between 14th August 1992 to September 1997. He is suspected to be the leader of the coup plot. Now he be the leader of them all. As a member of regular Corps 44, Mr. Sadiq, as indigene of Nasarawa State, rose through the ranks, becoming a colonel in 2015 and brigadier 4 years later. He belongs to the infantry corps. A lot of things they there, but make I just skip and make I skip us a lot of other brief talk there about him, but make us skip us. Now, among other postings, you don't go other areas like Kanu and all that, garrison command and all that, including the 81 division of the Nigerian army. Now, the second person, Colonel M.A. Maaji. Now, Mr. Maaji is a colonel with service number, born on 1st March 1976. In from Nupe, Niger State. He's a native of Nupe in Niger State. training on 18th August. He started his training on 18th August, finished on 16th of September 2019. That is, he started army training in 1995 and finished in 2000. Investigators suspect he played the role of key strategist for the coup plot. Now, the Premium Times reports that he has not been able to verify that claim. Now, a member of the Corps Infantry, he's also a member of the Corps Infantry. He was promoted to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in 2010, becoming a full colonel for 4 years later. He's 49 years old, of course, and commanding officer of the 19th Battalion of the Nigerian Army. We could move to others, we'll leave other things we don't do too. The number 3 person, Lieutenant Colonel S. Bapa. Now, Mr. Bapa, now a member of the Nigerian Army Signals Corps with service number N in from Bauchi State in the northeast Nigeria. He was born on June 21, 1984. This one young, well, past the other ones then. The 41-year-old officer started his cadet training on 27 September 2004 and completed it on 4th October 2008. He is a member of the 56th Regular Corps of the NDA. The next one, now Lieutenant Colonel A.A. Hayatu. You did hear their names, them, sir. Now, Mr. Hayatu, now a Lieutenant Colonel with service number, hails from Kaduna State. Born on 13th of August 1983. He underwent his cadet training between 27th September 2004 and 4th October 2008. He's a member of the Infantry Corps too. Mr. Hayatu also belongs to the 56th Regular Corps. The next person is P.H. Dangnap. That sounds like a just name, Plateau State name. Now, Mr. Dangnap is from Plateau State. He was born on April 1, 1986. This one young. In 2015, he was court-martialed along 29 others for offenses related to the fight against Boko Haram. Now, the 39-year-old officer would serve the court-martial for 2019 Boko Haram offenses when he make. Now, in the 39-year-old, with the service number began on the 27th of September 2004 and completed in 2008 October. Of course, since he belonged to the Infantry Corps, and he served for the 56th Regular Corps of the NDA. The next one, Lieutenant Colonel Almakura, a member of the 56th Regular Corps. Almakura is a Lieutenant Colonel from Nasarawa State, was born on March 1983. The Infantry Corps officer with service number that was trained as a cadet from September 27, 2004 to 2008. And we have Major A.J. Ibrahim. Mr. Ibrahim is a major with service, he hails from Gombe State. June 12, 1987, the Infantry Corps officer trained between 27 September 2004 to October 2008. So most of these people, if you see their training, most of them are classmates from the beginning of their training. He was a member of the 56th Regular Corps and became a captain. He did take, chronicle their history, how all of them, don't do similar thing before. Major M. Jida, number 8 person. Jida, na indigenous of Katsina State, was born on July 1985. You see also the age closeness between all of them. He trained between 27th of September to 4th of October, the same time when the other ones in train. Mr. Jida is an infantry officer and a member of the 56th Regular Corps, the same as others. Major N.A. Usman, now be the next person. Now, Major N.A. Usman as the next person, let's see that. Okay. Major N.A. now be the next person. He was born on 1st of April 1989. He hails from the Federal Capital Territory in North Central Nigeria. A member of the 60th Regular Corps, the infantry officer officer trained. He trained as a cadet at the NDA between 16th August 2008 to September 2012. Then we have Major D. Yusuf. Yusuf, a major with service number is a member of the Ordnance Corps. He was born on 26th of May 1988. As a member of the 59th Regular Corps, Mr. Yusuf trained at NDA between 7th July 2007 and 8th September 2012. The officer hails from Gombe State. And then we have the 11th person, Major I. Dauda. This, according to Premium Times, so not be me reporter. Mr. Dauda joined the army through the direct short service commissions. Born on 27th November 1983, the infantry officer with service number trained between 5 June 2009 to 27 March 2010, just 1 year training. Mr. Daudu also hails from Jigawa State. He's a member of Short Service Commission Course 38. As of press time, we hear that details of the remaining 5 officers listed below are sketchy, whether or not them or not. They are also being detained for alleged involvement in the coup plot. Below is a little information about them. One, Captain Ibrahim Bello. Mr. Bello is a captain with service number. He was born on 28 July 1987. He is a member of the Direct Short Service Commission, Course 43. Captain A.A. Yusuf, the next person. He's an army captain with service number, thereabout. Of course, is from northern Nigeria too. And we have Lieutenant S.S. Felix, a lieutenant with service number 9B. And then we'll have Lieutenant Commander D.B. Abdullah. Of course, he a Nigerian Navy personnel. And then we have Squadron Leader S.B. Adamu, an Air Force Squadron Air Force Squadron Leader with service number Dr. Kachonanoju. This is a very, very mind-blowing and mind-boggling conversation. First, make I pick your mind on what the entire coup issue mean. Then before we begin, look at the profile of these people that will be involved for this coup.
We are listening. We are following the news. We are following the denials. We are following the flankings. But we know there is no smoke without fire. From the composition of the names you've mentioned, it's very similar to the Buhari nomenclature.
How you mean, sir?
The Buhari, Babangida, Abacha nomenclature. That nomenclature started in 1978. Nigeria, at the end of the Civil War, was 35% Muslim. Nigeria till today remains a Christian majority country. Yet after the Civil War, there was a military coup led by a Muslim, Murtala Mohammed. And later on, there was another coup that removed Murtala. The Muslims got, and because they got angry, Obasanjo was polite in trying to ameliorate their fears and anger. He brought in Shagari during the transition to democracy, a Muslim. Shagari was supposed to do, and in the balancing act, after him, a Christian was supposed to come to power. That was a coup, But Buhari did his coup to stop that balancing.
Wait, what coup? What coup? So the coup where happened, we bring Buhari coming to power for 1983.
Yes.
You say that was.
That was a coup. Buhari did it specifically to stop a return to power in Nigeria of a Christian, and that was targeted to stop Ekweme from coming to power.
Oh wow!
So after the Buhari coup, you now had the Babangida coup, you had the Abacha coup, and then you had the transition to Abubakar.
Abdul
So Abdul Salami, those are Muslim-led adventures, which gave them the opportunity to write decrees that now give advantage in Nigeria to Muslims. Even as we return back to democracy, Nigeria started voting and the Christians started gaining advantage, and then Tinubu became president. But the core Muslims are still not very happy. So if you look at the names and composition Laden, that they have a lot of Muslims and that names you've called.
Mostly, most of the names.
Exactly. Yet Nigeria is a Christian majority country.
Is it a Christian majority country?
Nigeria till this minute, till tomorrow morning, remains a Christian majority country.
Well, people would argue that now because these days,
nobody will argue it. I'm just telling you the facts.
Okay.
Never mind what the Coups and what the soldiers write and the decrees they state. Plateau State, Taraba State, Benue State, Kaduna, Southern Kaduna, Southern Borno, Southern Bugumbe. So these are all Christian areas. Never mind what anybody tells you. Nigeria till tomorrow morning remains a Christian majority country. So what you now have is, as we have now transited to democracy, the Muslims are not happy. They're not happy. Yes, that is the truth. So if you listen to the composition of the names you've mentioned, that's what I will tell you. Even though Tinubu is a Muslim, he does not play the jihad that Buhari was doing. The main discussion today is Buhari's jihad. As you heard from confessions by military officers, there are those who will seek Nigeria to become a Muslim country. So if Tinubu does what he does, and some Muslim officers are not happy, and now you're mentioning names, and I see them heavy on that list, it tells you it's the same thing. It's the Muslims who are not very happy. The CPC, the ADC, and now the Coup. These are all Muslim fronts. The ADC is a Muslim front, like the CPC is a Muslim front, like what you're now reading about the Coup. It is. There are core Muslims in the far north who seek Nigeria on their own terms. And that's the problem we have. Now you've heard the Americans say that the killings, the genocide, has been a Muslim drive. That is the problem Nigeria has. Fundamentalist Muslims seek to turn Nigeria into a Muslim country. It is the same about the jihad. You cannot do a jihad without a genocide. This is the problem we have. Never mind that it is a Fulani-centric, war. It's an attempt to Islamize Nigeria. That's the same thing General Obasanjo said, Islamization, Fulanization. Look at the composition of the coup. They are mostly Muslim officers, not happy at where they think President Tinubu is taking the country to. Yes, we are still in the primary stages of the breaking of this story. There will need to be a lot more investigations for us to know the full truth about the extent to which this has gone. But I can tell you now, from the names you've mentioned, all of this are in the same bed with the Buhari, Babangida, Abacha, and Abdul Salami mindsets. These are core fundamentalist Muslims seeking Nigeria on their own terms. That's what it is. Nigeria till tomorrow morning remains a Christian majority country. And this is a problem we've had. The APC was supposed to be a political coalition, but no, Buhari started his jihad. How can you be doing jihad in Nigeria in 2024, 2025? The Fulani jihad It's real. It's not a joke.
But sir, this thing you're saying, Shabi, you know that, sir. The government don't come out several times say nothing like jihad they happen for Nigeria. In fact, I don't tell you before say Oga Sultan will be saying be the head of the Muslim religion for Nigeria. Don't come talk say jihad self no mean to kill others, you know mean war, you know mean all those things. And he don't talk say no genocide of any group at all for inside Nigeria. Nobody they kill anybody at all.
I can tell
Sir?
you something. I can tell you something. This man is not an honest man. You cannot do a jihad without killing people. Benue State is 98% Christians. They are mostly Catholics. The people killing them are Muslims. Why the killings? Why the ethnic cleansing? Why the genocide? Southern Kaduna is a Christian community, 99%. Same thing with Plateau, same thing with Taraba. The people doing the killings are all Muslims.
But sir, these same Muslims are also killing their own Muslims. Today I told you in the news for Katsina State, they kill Muslims.
Yes, during the jihad, inconsequential Muslims in their calculation houses who are being killed in places like Basari, Sapana, Dutsema, Musa, Kankara, Maru, Anka, Evitangobe, Densadeu. These are Hausa areas. Hausas to the Fulanis are considered as inconsequential Muslims. So there's not Hausas are being killed as part of the collateral damage.
So you're saying that the people who are being killed in the north are not even Fulanis, the Hausas gone.
The people being killed in Basari, in Sapana, in Dutsima, in Kankara, in Musa, in Maru, in Anka, in Tangobe, in Tensadeu, in Gurunyo, houses. The people doing the killings are Fulani militias. Most of them not Nigerians. I have been on this issue for the past decade. Thank God the Americans have come in and have said what I've been describing is a jihad. It is a jihad. And you cannot commit a jihad without genocide. So, what the problem is, Tinubu has come to power. Tinubu is Muslim, but he's Yoruba. Yorubas embrace Islam without abandoning their culture. So Tinubu's problem is, yes, you have the APC. Yes, you don't agree with Buhari's genocide. What do you do? Tinubu has visited Benue. Tinubu has gotten this army to stop the killings in Plateau to a minimal stage. Yes. But then Tinubu has not done enough because Tinubu has not returned the indigenous people who are sacked from their lands and now headed into IDP camps. So that is why the world is telling Tinubu, show us you don't support Buhari's jihad. And this is where the problem is. We're not going to run away from it. We're not going to deny it. We cannot run away from this. It is here. Buhari has spent 8 years doing a jihad. The world has now come to do a post-mortem. And this is the truth. We're not going to run away from that. As I speak to you today, Christians all over the north are staying in IDP camps, whereas foreigners who have left torn areas in central Mali are occupying their homelands. Muslims who have come from Mauritania are occupying their homelands. Muslims who have left, what's this called? Central African Republic are occupying their homes. So the idea by the Fulani leaders to use men of the Gandokoi, of Lakato Hore, and also the Tabita Polaku militias to commit industrial scale ethnic cleansing across the middle belt is the reason we're in this discussion. The Americans are right. I've been very right since I've been on television for the past decade talking about Fulani War. The Fulani War across West Africa has finally bettered in Nigeria, and we cannot run away from it. Whether you like it or not, these things are real. there are marks, there are evidences. Nigerians are living in IDP camps. People have been killed. Killings are still ongoing. So why are you going to run away from it? Some people are afraid to say it. We're not going to die if we speak about it. So this is the problem. You cannot do a jihad without genocide being part of it. The jihad that is now forcing people to live in IDP camps is a consequence of the ethnic cleansing that has been employed for the jihad to work. Don't forget how they started. Buhari came, he was looking for land. He used all sorts of fraudulent schemes, pretending them to be agricultural schemes to seek land. He talked about grazing reserve. We said no. He said no. He said Ruga. We said no. He said consolidation of underground and surface water plus 6 kilometers of land. That's 3 kilometers on each side of the bank of the river. We said no. He talked about grazing routes. We said no. All these schemes were targeted at gaining land to now resettle foreign Fulanese. When we said no, they now employed the ethnic cleansing. And who did they use for the ethnic cleansing? The militia elements of Gandakoi, militia elements of the Tabita Pulaku, and then the militia elements of the Mieti Allah Katohore. You know, you have militias like Bello Turuji, he came from Niger Republic. You also have somebody like Abdullahi Bello Bodejo, he's also from the Niger Republic. These people.
Bodejo, that is the head of Mieti Allah, is from Niger Republic and not Nigerian.
Is the head of the Mieti Allah Katohore, Bello Turuji. I mean, Abdullahi Bello
Bodejo. He's not Nigerian.
No, Bello Bodejo came from Niger, and then from Niger, he now settled in Bauchi State as state of choice in Nigeria. But he now organized the Katohore militia men in Nasarawa State to be used of the 18th of this presidency to attack the Benue Valley. Why the Benue Valley? The Benue Valley seems to have grass and it has water. That's why General Danjuma said they will attack you wherever there is water. That's the truth. That's why Newman was being attacked. It's historical. And that's the reason why we are where we are. General Danjuma said it, that they collude. In the army, there are those who collude with the militias to seize land for the Fulani. So Tinubu is stopping a lot of it. And because Tinubu is stopping a lot of it, you're now having the resistance. The resistance has come through the formation of a new political party, breaking the APC into two to have the ADC. The ADC could not pick because it is seen as an Islamic front.
Sorry, sir. So let's rewind. Are you saying that the reason why it looks like the ADC is crawling right now because of, say, then gets major Islamic agenda? Because I don't understand.
That's the truth. The ADC, like the CPC, is not meant to allow a Christian to be the president.
But Chibika Amechi did Diana. Chibika don't promise to give them all in.
Allow, please. Chibika Amechi is a burnt-out politician who seeks rehabilitation. It's of no consequence. He can't win his state. It's not. The idea by the Muslims is that the Christians should not rule. I told you before, at the end of the Nigerian Civil War in 1970, Nigeria was 35% Muslim. That's what it is. Till today, Nigeria remains a Christian majority country. But the Muslims, using the Murtalu and then the anger, the reason Buhari did was to stop the return of a Christian to the presidency, and that was the equipment. From there, you had the Babangida coup. He still maintained the Islamic doctrine that Buhari professed. Yes, I was doing Buhari, but I maintained the Islamic doctrine he talked about. Then after that, Abacha maintained the Islamic doctrine. Wrote decrees and handed us Decree 24, which we now took as our constitution. It had all those fundamentals stored in the constitution. And this is a problem. So our country is right now at a place where it is asking questions. All the people you've called, that you mentioned their names, these are junior officers, but they are sold on those fundamentals of trying to keep Nigeria as it should be. The reasons for the jihad is because most people think that the Christians should not have any say in Christian majority Nigeria. Nigeria remains a Christian majority country. That's why Muslims do not want free and fair elections. They don't want it. If you do it and a Christian emerges or a Satan emerges, the Muslims will annul the election and instead sell, as Tinubu said, they sold him the presidency. So this problem, but even as the Tinubu came in, they're not happy the way Tinubu is ruling. And that's why you've seen them now try to do what? To remove Tinubu. They've done that by trying to set up ADC. And I told you when we had the interview, ADC will not fly. Because I told you the reasons why I and we formed the obedient movement was because we were not happy about the decision by political elements from the north to say that Southerners should not be allowed to the presidency. So we left and we formed the youth movement and we got Peter Obi to be at the head of it. And that's why I told you when Kenneth Okonkwo said what he said, I told you that our main reason was Kenneth Okonkwo, our foundational principle behind forming the youth movement. And I told you that the youth movement formed to force the inclusion of Nigeria's diversity in Nigeria's governance. And this has not stopped. Even though Tinubu is president, there are those who are not happy that he's not doing things to, kind of give the country only to the Muslims. You can see Tinubu's appointments. A Christian is Minister for Finance. A Christian, so a lot of Christians are giving prominence in Tinubu's, even though the Christians that he appoints are more Yoruba Christians. Yes, the ethnic bent of the people he appoints is mostly Yoruba, but there is a mixture of Christian Muslims in those appointments. And that does not sync well.
What do you mean by Christian Muslims, sir? You said Christian Muslims. What do you mean by Christian Muslims?
Nigeria is supposed to be a balanced society where you have Christians and Muslims, all of them in that. In Buhari's appointments, everything was Muslim.
But Tinubu's one is also Yoruba, and that's what people are complaining. People are complaining. Okay, sir.
Even though Tinubu's one is Yoruba, but he also put Yoruba Christians in it.
Okay.
And Yoruba Christians are also in very strategic positions. Now, that doesn't sit well with the fundamentalist Muslims who thought Nigeria should be Muslim. You look at even they constructed the presidency, a Muslim presidency, and then they rigged that ticket into power. The ticket didn't win. So I think them who took idea to Tinubu, who now that Tinubu should take it that way, they are not happy. Tinubu has gone his own way, are the ones who are very angry, and so you can now see what we are saying. And about a coup, for me, I believe a lot will happen going forward.
Okay, sir. So I have a lot of questions to ask you, but make we start with perhaps waiting go don't even make a coup happen. Now, say, unlike any other administration, throughout the administration of this president, Bola Tinubu, you don't hear military ranking officers and don't complain the most about their welfare, about lack, about different things. They don't complain at all, and they don't complain about how things hard. Is that part of the coup? Because people will tell you that, people will say that, is this sensitive to downplay the plight of the military and the complaints they've been done make? Well, if it don't lead to this agitation, if that may be one of the reasons. So
that is not the truth.
Okay,
the military
sir.
were worse off under Buhari. The military, the military were worse off under Buhari.
So why did they not complain then?
Well, because some of them were saying if we're Muslims, it's not good to complain against a Muslim leader. Remember, that was what Rufai was saying, that Muslims should not complain against a Muslim leader, no matter how bad the conditions are. So they kept quiet. And our question is, Tinubu is a Muslim, so why complain under him? Is he a Christian? He just tells you these people are not sincere. They're not honest to themselves. They seek, look at the composition of the people you called. Those names you called, only one of them is from the south. And the ones you call from the north, only one of them is a Christian, Dagnaf, from Plateau.
Yeah, the
rest of them are northern, core, fundamentalist Sunni minority Muslims. And they are the ones who seek to seize Nigeria by force and change it the way they want. So, for me, this coup no concern me. Own, as police will call it, family matter.
So you're saying that this coup doesn't have anything to do with, oh, people are complaining that things are too hard, things have been difficult. So it doesn't. But is it a reality? Is it a reality that life is more difficult for Nigerians right now than it ever was? Is that a reality? Let's set that record straight.
I wouldn't think so. No. Life is a little bit better now because under Buhari, the jihad was.
No, I mean in terms of economy, sir. Economically, would you say life is better for Nigerians now, sir?
The most important thing for a new citizen is security of life and property. Today, security and life and property is much better than it was under Buhari.
But a lot of people will tell you otherwise. Okay, sir.
Under Buhari, it was a system of kill all man, burn house. Forget all the stories you hear. Under Buhari, it was a system of kill all man, burn house. The only difference between Buhari now is the removal of it. If you ask me on the long term, it's the best. It's for the best interest of the Nigerian people that the subsidy is removed. The subsidy, it represents an existential intrusion by government in the energy markets. You remove it, it will be painful, temporary, but with time, we all settle to it. We are okay. Rice today is 55,000 per bag. Remember at the beginning when it was removed, it skyrocketed to up to 1990.
200 and something, 200 plus.
But then, as the stability of currency fluctuations becomes better manageable, the thing has come down now to 55,000. Things will get better.
So I'm not saying that things will not get better, but comparing it to, the standard of living of politicians, which also is one of the major problems and complaint of Nigerians, that how can you tell us that these things are difficult, we should take it, they're painful steps we must take, but on they live in affluence, on they increase all on our own things, on they show us example, like say things they had, make us enjoy with us. So you think that may not also be enough to make people angry, or perhaps?
No, that's not enough.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let me tell you.
Okay, sir.
I myself, I won't lie to you. I expected this kind of reaction, even up to a coup. Why did I expect it? Because of Tinubu's inevitable movements to stop the Fulani war. Because I believe Tinubu's movements and instructions will stop the jihad, I expected a coup. The main reason for this coup is actually a reaction against Tinubu for stopping the jihad. And you see, once they did it, they removed Christopher Musa. What's Christopher Musa's offense? He says, if anybody cocks a gun near you and shoots you once, don't give that person the chance to shoot you a second time. Kill him. The old arrangement under Buhari was, if they shoot you, don't shoot back. Call the politicians before you have the right to shoot.
So why would President Tinubu, if he is not in support of jihad, just like you said, that is a jihad, why would he remove somebody who is perhaps supporting his cause?
We don't understand the full chemistry behind Tinubu's political acrobatics. He may have removed Christopher Musa and took somebody else with an instruction that the person maintains the strategic military command of shoot at whoever shoots at you. So that's what we're going to check. Is one thing to remove Christopher Musa, fine. Let us check to see the operational manual, if they have changed in the theater of war. So that's why I'm not going to talk about the removal of Musa. Removal of Christopher Musa may just be to make those sponsors of the terrorism who are also actively in government and have some pressures on the president happy. But the person that has been put, we will see the instructions that he will give to the field before we can start to now talk. But if I tell you I didn't expect up to a coup, I'll be lying to you. I'll be lying to you. I believe, and if you notice during the last election, when I was campaigning, part of the reasons that I had in mind for us to form the obedient movement was we cannot afford to have another Northerner to succeed Buhari. Why? No Northerner as president can stop the Fulani war. That's what I believe. And that's why I told Atiku, I can't support you. You are weak towards the Fulani.
All right, sir. This one we still they talk. All right, so
it takes a southerner who can say no, and that will be that. So
okay, sir.
Yes, may not have done very well yet, but some of the things is done are the reasons for the current reaction.
All right, sir. So if you they talk, say the things the wing don't do, now the reason for this current reaction of coup or no coup plot and all that, people could expect, say, by now. I mean, for instance, most of those villages will be say, these headsmen, for instance, they pursue, that is the armed headsmen, they pursue people for Plateau and Benue State, so they go clear the villages, people don't run from their village. Most of those villages, the people will be say, where don't they deserted? The people will occupy them now. And those people from a particular ethnic group for inside Nigeria. If President Tinubu indeed not in support of that movement, people could expect, say, oh, by now, he could not command the military to come to all those villages where they deserted and arrest or take over any people, arrest anybody where they occupy those places. Will not be the indigenous people them. Why that one never happened? That's one. And two, no vex. So now the US consistently don't mention the Fulani jihadists for inside their matter when they name about Christian killings them. We know the process of prescribing IPOB as a terrorist organization. Till now, it is difficult for the government to even refer to bandits as terrorists. Until now, they do like say they need to hear. In fact, they don't even want to hear that there is an ethnic group with a militia arm, what they call herdsmen militia or the armed militiamen where they cause problem. They don't even want to hear them. Because if they won't hear them, by now you would have thought that, okay, President Tinubu should have also designated what did they call them? Both the bandits and the herdsmen them. At least if the herdsmen that they designated, those armed ones, the bondage or group will come begin filter the good ones from the bad ones so that they will exempt themselves from those people where they cause this katakata for Nigeria. So if the president actually means well, why has he done all that? Now, what people they ask be that?
You are very correct. These are also the reasons why I have been condemning the Tinubu administration for it not yet being able to return the indigenous people back to their historical homelands, arrest the people there, because under Nigerian law, if something is missing, anybody wouldn't see that thing for that person a thief. You will arrest that person.
The buyer of a stolen property na thief.
Is a thief. So those people who are now, as the Plateau State governor said, through that the investigative committee, they have now found out more than 42 communities that were sacked and most of them renamed. What I have said previously is arrest the people on those lands, use the arrests to now get the people who did the original cleansing of indigenous owners who are currently in IDP camps. Use those people arrested to find those people that brought them there. Return the owners of that land who are now in IDP camps back to their indigenous land. I have been saying that on several television programs, and I have gotten a mark and a lot of people abusing me for this work I've been doing for the past 12 years. I am happy that the world has finally come to say on the pardon that we think it was just pardon for. So those people whose people have paid money and their name have been written, as we have not complained about the pardon, you've seen what he has done to actually cancel the pardon, and instead of having 1,000 people pardon, is now being reduced to about 34 people. So we will continue to speak up. As I said earlier on the Fulani issue, the Fulani genocide across the country, nobody is free. Sunday Igboho started his own defense of the Yoruba homelands when the Fulanis entered the Oyo Forest Reserve. That's also the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is now calling witnesses who's like Danjuma, who said, organize and defend yourself. If you're waiting for the government, you will all be killed because the army are colluding. They collude with these Fulani militias. So if the DG of the DSS also tells us, like Danjuma tells us, that we should defend ourselves, this is the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is subpoenaing them to come and give evidence in his trial. And we are saying, if governments can allow those Fulani militias who came from outside Nigeria to come here and become terrorists, if they can allow them to attend meetings with government officials carrying their grenade launchers, their submachine guns, and nothing happens, and they go back to continue holding those territories on behalf of the Fulani politicians who brought them in, why would he be holding Nnamdi Kanu? There is no need to hold him, lie against him. That is, what terrorism did he do? He's not trying to tell you that he may have organized a militia, but the militia was simply organized to defend his area against the Fulani Jihad. Very simple. So Nigeria is asking Tinubu, why are you weak when it comes to the Fulani issue? Why are you not as fair with other Nigerians as you have been very free with the Fulani? So we cannot stop. We will continue to raise our voices till it's the right thing. And this is how I feel. I agree with you. What you raised are pertinent and very honest questions. What Nigerians are asking is true. And I'm insisting that I continue to condemn the Tinubu administration for not returning the indigenous people who are currently headed into IDP camps back to their ancestral homelands. I condemn the government. If Tinubu wants to tell us that, yes, these things were perpetrated by the Buhari administration, show us that he's not part of it by returning the indigenous people back to their ancestral homeland, arresting the people there, whom the Plateau State governor said have now renamed those areas so occupied, arrest the people on the land, return the owners back to their land, and use the people arrested to gain access to those who did the ethnic cleansings, who did the genocide. That's simply Nigerian law. Section 512 says so. The people arrested must be held under the Conspiracy Act for those that conspired with them to kill the indigenous people and bring them there. Section 516 of the Nigerian law. That's what it says. So I think we should respect our laws and she will continue to do things that will make the Nigerian project feasible and viable going forward.
All right, sir. So while we're still there onto this Coup matter, is there one of the names where I mentioned earlier? I think one of the last names, SB Adamu. So, in the Air Force officer recently posted to the Office of the National Security Advisor, he was detailed, according to the report, to kill Nuhu Ribadu. Now, the National Security Advisor, of course, sources familiar with the investigation alleged that the coup plot have, that was his own duty. Now, SB Adamu is a squadron leader from service number with from Jigawa State. He was posted to the National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC, a program coordinated by the ONSA, that is at the Office of the National Security Advisor, 4 weeks before the alleged coup plot was when he was, posted to the ONSA, the Office of the National Security Advisor. Now, contrary to reports that many of the suspects were working with the, Office of the National Security Advisor, Adamu was the only one linked to the office through the NCTC program. Now, the NCTC is one of the programs coordinated by the ONSA. Military sources told cable news and other news when Adamu Garabalake, a major general and national coordinator of the NCTC, requested for a specific officer to be posted to the center in August 2025. He was surprised that his request was not approved. Instead, Adamu was posted to the office. And this is now fueling speculation that the alleged coup plotters had infiltrated the military hierarchy. Because the person when need person when they post them to that office, instead of them to post the person when ask for them, post this man to run.
That is true.
Now, okay, sir.
Well, Tinubu has just become president, but Tinubu cannot undo in 2 years what Buhari did in 8 years. A lot of the people that Buhari posted in different commands of the military are still in power. They are still in their positions. And those people share the sentiments and emotions that has driven the Buhari's faction of the intelligence here in the army, and those who have now been pinpointed to be in charge of this coup. So what you must understand is those people who were promoted by Buhari and put in strategic positions are still in the army and in the security services. So Tinubu will need a lot more than just the political announcements and braggadocio to weed out those people who are very, very loyal to Buhari and then the Buhari sentiments. I repeat, Nigeria till tomorrow morning remains a Christian majority country. It is this kind of things by Muslims that they seek to do to maintain the Muslim grip on Nigeria. Nigeria see a balance between Christians and Muslims in the rulership of this country for us to have peace. But the Muslims don't want that. They want to rule forever. They want to undermine the Christian. They want to do coup. They want to forcefully put themselves to power. They want to annul any election won by a Christian or a Muslim that they don't think is hardcore enough. Nigeria has problem. Whether you like it or not, we're not going to get out of it very quickly.
So again, if all of this is why they talk not true, then how did they vote for Goodluck Jonathan in 2011? Because everybody voted for Goodluck in 2011. How did that happen?
Everybody voted for Goodluck Jonathan, but when you now got Buhari, started plotting against Goodluck Jonathan, going around talking to people about the Muslim thing, that was how he penetrated the INEC. He penetrated a lot of Muslim places and then told them this Muslim story, and that was why you saw Goodluck Jonathan was betrayed and then was toppled. Buhari came in the APC that was actually a coalition. No, when he got in there, he threw it away and he started this Islamic agenda. Don't also forget that before Buhari became president, a lot of people talked about Buhari, even Tinubu, even Obasanjo. They all say that Buhari is divisive, that he will put it. So we shouldn't be surprised that he did what he did. Okay? Even before he became president, Buhari had been known to go to Ibadan to meet Lam Adesina. to express the same sentiments. Ali have been open with the Grand Khalifa. So that he now finally got to power through the presidency and now perpetuated what he thought he should, I don't think Nigerians should be surprised. What we have to now do is to work together as people of one nation to deconstruct Buhari in the way he has tried to understand and fixate Nigeria, and return Nigeria back to a country for all people, no matter the faith, no matter your ethnicity. One of the greatest things that happened in Buhari's period was after his 8 years of weaponized subjugation of Igbos and nepotism, Igbos remain Nigerians. So that tells you the strength of the human spirit. Buhari was evil personified. We've never had anybody as bad as he was. He's gone. Tinubu has a lot of work to do. Let us understand, even though he's a Muslim, that this is not what he's doing. Let him not divide us by distracting us with his anti-Igbo campaign. Igbos represent the largest ethnicity that are Christians in Nigeria. So when you attack Igbos, you're also attacking Christians. When the largest block of Christians, being Igbos, are attacked and nothing happens, other Christians will become very afraid. So what Tinubu is doing against the Igbos may actually not be an ethnic game. It may also be part of this Islamic agenda.
Why do you think Tinubu is doing anything against Igbos in the first place?
You can see what he's doing in Lagos. Yes, Abiola, a Muslim, defeated Tofa, a Muslim, in Kanu. There wasn't this kind of backlash, changing of names of streets, and pulling down of Yoruba houses in Kanu, or pulling down their shops in markets. But look at it being practiced against Igbo Christians in Lagos. So I want Nigerians to understand what Tinubu is doing may simply be what the Fulani Muslims told the Yoruba Muslims to do if they actually seek this power, and that's what Tinubu has been doing. So I believe Tinubu is doing these things as part of that Islamic agenda.
But how can you say he's doing that? How can you say he's doing that as part of an Islamic agenda? And at the same time, you also say that.
I'm not telling you this.
Okay.
Most people didn't see it that way. Most people thought it was a tribal game. It not be tribal. It may be part of the religious game. Attacking the largest block of Christians in Nigeria, being Igbos, is the same, but then you can pretentiously think it's an ethnic thing. It is not. It's part of the religious war. Tinubu's way.
So if that is the case, then how then is he trying to stop the Fulani agenda? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, people have different ways of executing things. If you ask him, what about that game? He said, yeah, but you can see I'm dealing with Christians, Igbo Christians, I'm dealing with them in Lagos. But his need to get re-elected makes him to try to situate the Middle Belt in a way that gets him to stop the Fulani war in the Middle Belt. And that's why you've seen, once the war was slowed down in Plateau, in Benue, and Northern Kaduna, Southern Kaduna, you now see this issue of a coup. The idea is do not stop the Fulani momentum. And the jihad momentum, the jihad has been stopped by Tinubu.
All right, sir.
And that's the reasons why I think he is suffering this current backlash, both on the political space and also on the military front.
Okay, so let's go back to a bit of that jihad thing, then we'll go to other conversations. I mean, we don't give them headline, so I don't mind if we just dwell a bit on this today. So going back to what you talk about jihad, there was something Buba Galadima said when Buhari died. He said Buhari was never a politician, that those of them who draft them into politics draft them for one purpose, because that they saw, I have that footage, I'm sure I've played it for you before, that they saw the way the OPC were trying to take over Ilorin Kwara State. and that Obasanjo as president did not do anything about it, and that the governor of Lagos State at that time, Bola Tinubu, did not do anything about it. These are his words, or not me. He's talking for national TV, Arise Television. I have the footage. So that they drafted him to stop the OPC from taking back Ilorin from the Fulanis. That's what he said.
It's the same thing that we are talking about.
So I want to ask you whether can you say that this is part of the agenda? That's one. And on the other hand, and then on the other,
to reignite the jihad, to consolidate the jihad in Ilorin. Don't forget, Ilorin is primarily Yoruba land.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, you could have taken Ilorin, but they didn't take Ogbomoso. They didn't take Ofa. Ofa and Ogbomoso that I see beside Ilorin are still part and parcel Yoruba land and Yoruba hands. So, because of what the Fulani have done, we are only protected by military rule and British colonial period. Now that we are going back to democracy, there is no way the Fulanis will be able to maintain their game of settler colonialism across northern Nigeria, and in places like Ilorin, they don't have the numbers. So the problem the Fulani have is inability to sustain their positions of entitlement like settler colonialism in a democracy in Nigeria. Settler colonialism did not work in South Africa, it did not work in Namibia, it did not work in Mozambique, it did not work in Zimbabwe. It will not work in Nigeria. Settler colonialism is what the Fulanis are plotting across Nigeria. It will not work because you now have awareness, you also have greater sharing of information due to the available of the internet, and that's why you see the Sultan complaining vehemently against the internet, against social media. Because if they were able to use the NBC to cow the mainstream media into not reporting the war, they can't stop the social media from reporting the genocide going across the country. This is a problem. They were successful in cowing the regular media, the mainstream media. Remember, the NBC said that the mainstream media should not report the killings. They should not report the extent of the jihad. This happened under Buhari. Remember, I myself, 2 times I was on Channels television, 2 times Channels anchor were invited over from Lagos, were detained in Abuja, station was penalized 5 million for not stopping me from saying the things I say. And I remember those things. So all those were strategies to try to cow the broadcast stations from allowing the truth to be spoken publicly. But as you can see, there is no way you can hide the killing of other human beings. Today, the jihad that Buhari and the other people whom the Sultan thought had the capacity to have silenced Nigerians have done well. You can now see him very angry at the social media because of the social media's ability to relentlessly advertise what they saw in the last minutes. This is a problem.
All right, sir.
So when you see the Sultan complain, it's nobody's able to shut down the social media.
All right, sir. So very quickly, because of time, don't go. We don't already spend 1 hour play, and nights don't come for where we did right now. So secondly, you had said on this program that Buhari's team or the CPC block of APC saying that them rigged the election in favor of President Bola Tinubu. If they know, say President Tinubu go stop the agenda, why didn't go rig election for him? Or could that be the reason why perhaps seeing that according to you, where you saying I'll be winner, seeing that Peter Obi had won based on your calculation, could that be the reason why they said no, we can't give it to this man, let's give it to at least this one is a Muslim? like us. But then why did they not give it to Atiku instead of Tinubu? If not, they really regard to them. So there is a lot that is not adding up in all of this. And I thought, sir.
So let me tell it to you.
Okay, sir.
They couldn't give it to Atiku because they were reminded of the problem of 1993, June 12. And that problem was very basic. If a Southerner won the election, you don't like that Southerner, find another Southerner to give the advantage to. The problem of June 12 was a Southerner, Abiola won the election, they cancelled it and gave the advantage to a Northerner, Abacha. And that's how the June 12 came. So they probably were afraid of Tinubu teaming up with the South and other Southerners to now fight the annulment of that. So, yes, if you say you don't like Peter Obi, whom we saw won in all the cantonments across Nigeria, military installations across Nigeria, where there was no rigging. He won Abuja. No other person got 25% in Abuja. No one got in Lagos. But you can see what they did. Today, Wike is minister because he rigged the election, brutalized young people. And so, yes, Tinubu did not win, but they didn't just give it to him. No, they sold it to him. That's why he refused to accommodate them in his government. When they came, he said, what for? I don't owe you. I've paid you out. I've paid you off. And that's why you saw they started fighting him. And today, not only have they broken off from the APC to go from the ADC, because we saw it is nothing but an angry front for fundamentalist Muslims. They also now have tried this news you're saying about coup. You see, the government have said, the army told you, no, it's not coup. Why? They are still investigating.
Okay, sir.
It is after the investigation that they can now come out to say, okay, that confusion we were investigating, this is what it is. But for now, no matter what you say, they'll tell you, no, it's not true, it's not good. They've not said so.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
You are discussing it because of the uproar caused by the families of the officers arrested.
All right, sir. So make I quickly go look whether I go fit play just a little clip of that video where Buba Galadima talking for context purpose, so that as I explain now, make people not talk saying me talk up. No, now for the purpose of
so that Buhari can stop the attempt by the Yorubas to take
absolutely. Make we just go hear from him. Make people hear from the horse's mouth. Make them not talk in a precious mouth. They hear him. And when we come back, we will look at the U.S. and waiting Ted Cruz. Don't they talk? Say our president say he feel somehow because of saying him don't open at Comcast waiting they happen for Nigeria. We could play this one first.
Some of us who recruited him into politics had a mission, and I will reveal that mission today. General Buhari came into politics. It wasn't his province. He never liked politicians because he believed we are fake and that we don't mean what we say. But there was an incident that made some of us to recruit him, convince him, and use the other people to convince him to join politics. And even though we had our own agenda, because in 1999 and 2000, the OPC was on rampage in some parts of the country, especially Southwest, and have inconvenienced a lot of people from this part of the country. And to the extent that they mobilized over 500 vehicles to come and invade Ilorin, with the sole aim of uprooting what they called Fulani structures in Ilorin. And we felt that was too much. And Obasanjo was doing nothing. President Bola Tinubu, then governor of Lagos, was doing nothing. And some of us felt that those group of people were being encouraged by their leaders in position of authority. So how do we stop that? And I called a meeting in Kaduna at Alhaji Bashar Al-Hatu's house in a place called Ungwon Kaji, directly opposite the house of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. And some of those we invited included Alhaji Wadanas, Professor Yadudu, Bashir Al-Hatu himself, Alhaji Yahya Sulehama, and a host of others, about 34 of us. And we sat down to reason, how do we save our people from this OPC menace? So we said, I suggested that we have to, because you remove government through only two ways, the ballot of through the barrel of the gun and through the ballot box. And they said it was impossible to challenge General Obasanjo. That was how Buhari came to our mind. And when he was approached, he had a very unkind words for politicians. But since he didn't say he was not doing, we still pursued him. To cut long story short, we achieved our first purpose of putting a brake to what OPC was doing. Because immediately, Buhari joined partisan politics, and we had a very big outing in Daura to initiate him into politics. The Obasanjo government became restive and was shaken to its bone marrow, and because those were some of his our thinking. So Obasanjo had to really checkmate the OPC. So for that reason, we have.
Okay, so I just wanted to put that conversation into perspective so that people go understand. Say no be me talk am. So I don't know whether waiting you explain, sir. Hearing waiting Oga Buba Galadima talk now, do you think that your explanation summarizes what he said?
Yes. What I've been trying to tell you from the word go is actually what Buba Galadima is also trying to tell you. So while we talk about a nation building agenda, these people have an agenda of trying to make sure that their jihad succeed. And this has been the reason why Buhari did the coup against Equemen. And then, even though Babangida consolidated on the Islamic intentions of Buhari's reasoning, Abacha sustained it. You know, let me give you an example of Abacha's game in sustaining that Islamic agenda. When you saw in the Middle Belt Plateau overwhelmingly Christian, Benue overwhelmingly Christian, then Abacha thought of creating an Islamic state. And that was how he now thought they would create Nasarawa. They will give the Fulani's ruling house of Kastinawa were to be stationed in Nasarawa town, where you have majority Ahu people, which stretch from Gunki through Mangorogoma to Gidankwanu, Ogapa, to as far as places like Odege, towards the road to Apa and Luko. Then if you come to Kefi, you will have the Fulani ruling house of, what is this now? You have the Kasinawa who took over Nasarawa town, and then you now give to the Kanuris, what's this called? KP. The Barnawa are also there in Lapia, in KP, but in Lapia was now given to the Kanuri, the Kanunawa. Abacha himself being a Kanuri, put the capital in there. You see, that's why the capital was not put in centered Akwanga, where the mother are.
Okay, sir. All right, so, sir.
Now, just to tell you about this same plot, but you see, when Obasanjo became president, and he Kefi, Abuja Road, Christians came all over to stay in Karu Nyanya. Today, as I speak to you, Nasarawa is a Christian majority country, state. So all those plots, Islamic plottings to gain advantage for Muslims, they were done properly by these people, which was started by, what's his name? Buhari, then Babangida, then Abacha. And of course, when the other man came before he handed over to Obasanjo, he wrote a constitution that gave so much advantage to the Muslims in Christian majority Nigeria.
All right, sir. So make I ask you another question, I beg, very quickly. First of all, before I would like to know the state of the ADC and waiting be Peter Obi prospect right now, since we never know any party we belong to. You mentioned that the ADC is part of, the Islamic agenda, right? And I'd like to know if ADC had from the get-go picked your candidate, Peter Obi, would you have said the same thing as your presidential candidate?
It is not going, it's like telling CPC. CPC cannot pick a Christian. No.
So you think that say get as a B, make ADC for pick Peter Obi as presidential candidate?
It's not possible because the ADC was formed to represent what the CPC will have been. There is this Islamic agenda in Nigeria, which is wrong. I seek a Nigerian agenda where all Nigerians are normal, but not an agenda where a Muslim must emerge. What for? In Christian majority Nigeria, where Muslims have ruled, how can a Muslim rule, and you don't want the Christians to rule? So we have to mention it now. So I'm mentioning it now. I want you to see it the other way. Let us not, it's our docility that has allowed these things to sustain. I'm not telling you that a lot of the Christians in this country are docile. And that's a fact. That's a fact.
All right. So where is the ADC right now? And then where is your candidate, Peter Obi?
Where is what?
ADC, the political party. Where they now? And where Peter Obi they now? What is going on?
ADC is defunct. Everybody is waiting for the PDP convention when it is true. Probably the PDP will now serve as a foundation for you now to have a national coalition of the what you will call the opposition, what remains of the opposition.
So you think that the PDP will still function even though say Anyanwu and Co and the
Anyanwu is gone. Anyanwu and Co.
No, but he's gone to court. He said the signatures were forged. And Wiki had said consistently that convention no go convention at all.
There is nothing wrong with Wiki or anybody having an opinion. It's a big country, it's a big society. Wiki has every right to have an opinion, but don't forget, this is a big country. So they have an opinion, but I'm just trying to tell you, Tinubu can make Nigeria one-party state. He has done enough for himself, but when the time comes, Nigerians will also differ. Can't you see, even in the same APC itself, you're having this quality of disagreements? Just to tell you, nobody can force Nigeria into one straitjacket. It's not possible. Nigerians will always want to disagree with each other, and nobody can stop them from disagreeing. And that's what you're seeing right now.
Okay. All right. Too many other questions that we are for like ask. Okay. Going straight to what transpired with Ted Cruz and that U.S. issue. So Ted Cruz, Republican U.S. Senator, says President Bola Tinubu's government is very unhappy because he has raised the alarm over the killing of Christians in Nigeria and proposed legislation to designate Nigeria a country of particular concern. Now, he hosted, I think, Ayam Hirsi, a Somalia-born Dutch and American writer and activist, on his podcast on Wednesday. Now, Mr. Cruz said the Tinubu government has been very unhappy over his campaign against the mass murder of Christians in Nigeria. So they think they paid our president, but say nothing go feed about him. Quoting him, he says, "I will tell you, the government of Nigeria is very unhappy with me. They have decried by saying I introduced this legislation to designate them a country of particular concern. And the government is very unhappy with me, Cruz said. The U.S. lawmaker cited decades of Boko Haram terror attacks on churches and Christian regions in Nigeria, accusing political leaders of turning a blind eye to the issues. He said, I've been very vocal, calling out the mass murder of Christians. About 50,000 Christians have been killed murdered in Nigeria since 2009 till date. Over 20,000 churches and schools have been destroyed, burned to the ground. You have the problem of Boko Haram and other Islamic groups targeting and persecuting Christians in particular. He added, he said, there are far too many government leaders who have turned a blind eye to what is happening, who have accused to what is happening rather, who are enforcing either Sharia law or blasphemy laws, and who facilitates the persecution of Christians. One of those things when you talk, we say he also accuse government of, say he did very hypocritical. In fact, say barbaric, those were his words he used that time. That is barbaric for the Nigerian government to ever even think of practicing Sharia law. Say Sharia law did very barbaric for us. Say, how can we say we're a secular state and we're practicing Sharia law? But I would like to take your input on that very quickly before I go to a bit of an excerpt of that video we be say in Talk Up.
What I would want to say is the idea of saying that they turned a blind eye. I wouldn't put it in the same way. What I would say is that most of those people who are accused of turning blind eye are actually afraid that if they talk, they could be targeted. It is it that has caused the leaders to stay mute. I wouldn't say turning a blind eye.
So you think that is out of fear, not because of say,
yes. No.
Why are they afraid? And what are they afraid of?
They are afraid of the government coming at them. You know what it is, speaking the truth. You know what it was when they did the Muslim ticket in a Christian majority country, and Peter Obi tried to speak to a Christian leader. He saw how
they call her yes daddy.
It's very good. So that is what most Christian leaders get afraid of, even to the extent that even Christian bishops will be afraid to tell you the truth because they are afraid. You see.
So do you think that that's one of the reasons why Bishop Coker is now perhaps deflating, because people talk say the deflate or the conversation around Christian killing when they speak against vehemently before?
Afraid. Bishop Coker also, his problems are understandable. You see, Coker knows that this jihad was started by Buhari. But I can tell you one truth. Tinubu has not shown that we can exonerate him from Buhari's agenda. I agree very much. It is Buhari, not Tinubu, who started this jihad. And you're not going to run away from it because jihad is real. And you cannot do a jihad without committing genocide. It's very, very simple. Nobody can successfully carry. And don't forget, this jihad is not specific to Nigeria. The Fulani jihad is across the Sahel. But the jihad Buhari and Coup have been on, has been on for a long time as he had with them. What Buhari Galadima was telling you was, how do they reconstruct a jihad? So to do that jihad, you need to bring Buhari. And they were successful in bringing Buhari to come and head a jihad. So that's what it is. And the Christian leaders are, yes, they are afraid. That is the truth. So it's not like they purposely turned the other way or turned the blind eye. No, they were all afraid for their lives. They know if they speak out, they will be witnesses will be targeted, and they could even be killed. You saw how Christians are killed in the north, and nothing happens. You saw what happened to the girl that was stoned. held in that particular country, and you're stoning young girls, young children, that they wrote some. No, this is not proper. Where we're going to is wrong. So I think Senator Cruz, we thank him very much. I'm very grateful that he has helped to jolt us back into consciousness.
All right, sir.
Nigeria was going the way of Turkey. This is how societies die. What you see happening in Nigeria is the way societies die. I think we should not kill ourselves because of people like Kuka, Bishop Kuka, who is suddenly afraid and not able to speak the truth. It doesn't matter. Kuka didn't talk, but the bishops from Benue State, don't forget Benue is 98%
Christians.
Catholic. The Christians, 98%. And most of them, they are Catholics. But they went to the U.S. and made their case and they were listened to. But before that, even the members of Khan, you saw those people got to become compromised. So if you look at Khan and Bishop Kuka, you're not going. Christians will not be murdered here, and nothing will happen. And the Muslims are using violence to try to do this. It's like the same thing they're doing in the United Kingdom.
All right, sir.
Anyway, you have up to 30% Muslims. That's enough Muslims to start causing trouble in that society.
Oh, wow.
And it's been that way for a very long time. It's history, it's bad.
So is that a fair thing to say about a religion? That's what people would say. Everybody don't always maintain, say Islam now my religion of peace, sir. So is that a fair, sir? Sir?
Religion of peace, those are stories, but I'm just trying to tell you what the fact of what Muslims are doing. Now, it's not all Muslims that do this. Don't forget, the Yoruba Muslims are not like this.
Okay.
But the Fulanis do this, and they don't hide it. So you have talked about Buba Galadima. What is your something? You want to keep Yoruba land, a place that is up to 90%, 95% Yoruba. You want to keep it in Fulani hand. How? Because you were able to do that during military days and under the British colonial system, but under democracy, the people want to assert themselves, and all you do is make noise. Look, gradually, Nigeria will change to a better society.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Because of times, I make our open phone lines, make Nigerians begin call. But before then, make I quickly play that video by Ted Cruz. Make it here just an excerpt of waiting in talk. And there's also another a video I love to play where Fayoshe's brother is insisting that Tinubu is very nepotistic. Even though you don't talk saying own nepotism, no reach.
Tell us what's happening in Nigeria. And as you know, I've been very vocal calling out the mass murder of Christians. Over 50,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria since 2009. Over 20,000 churches and schools have been destroyed, burned to the ground. And you have Boko Haram and other radical Islamic terrorist groups that are targeting and persecuting Christians in particular. And I will tell you, the government of Nigeria is very unhappy with me. They have decried my saying this. I have introduced legislation to designate them a country of special concern. And the government of Nigeria is very unhappy. And I've said, look, there are far too many government leaders who have turned a blind eye to what is happening, who have acquiesced in what is happening, who are enforcing either Sharia laws or blasphemy laws and facilitating the persecution of Christians. And as I said, the Nigerian government has been vigorously resisting me in this. Give me your judgment. What do you see happening in Nigeria, and what do you think is actually the truth?
Nigeria is the most important African country. It has the largest population. And obviously there's a vying for control between, on the one hand, the Islamic states of Nigeria and the Christian states of Nigeria. And it used to be about 50-50, but because the Islamist movement, Boko Haram and others, they want to apply force, the jihadist force, this sort of gruesome killing that we've seen on October 7 in 2023 in Israel.
Yeah.
So what is going on in Nigeria? The Islamists in Nigeria are killing Christians. They're burning their churches. They're raping their women. they are invoking blasphemy laws. So in the southern regions of Nigeria, Sharia law is.
Oh, wow. Wow. I don't know whether you hear what's in that writer talk, sir. You hear what she talk.
There's nothing new. Everything they spoke are truth. This is because we, out of fear, we keep quiet. The Muslims are doing so much to undermine the country, to destroy the basis for nationhood, and we are too afraid because the violence frightens the Christians from acting. This is a problem, but it does not mean that those things are not true. They are true. Those of us who can speak should continue to speak. And that's why I'm telling you, it is true. There is nothing that Senator Cruz has said. It does that he didn't say some of them. And I'm telling you, the lady who actually spoke, no, it's not true. There's nothing like 50-50. Nigeria remains a Christian majority country. It is not 50-50. So it is a Christian majority country. Check the school enrollment, it's Christian majority country. Check the bank records, a Christian majority country. There is nothing, there's no parity with Muslims at all. You know, population density, school enrollment, that tells you who is who. Okay, so leave these issues. Okay, they've tried by trying to bring populations from Niger, Chad. All that has not worked. It's not going to work. It's not going to cut it. Nigeria will continue to be a Christian majority country because the Africans do not want to change with it.
And you know what she talks? Say Nigeria are the most important African country.
True. They don't want to seize it by force, and that is wrong.
Oh wow! All right, Nigerians, phone lines are open. Please kindly jump in on the conversation. You can call the WhatsApp number 081702940077. Dr. Catch, let me call you back on the other line in case you'd like to respond to the callers so that they can call in here. I'll call you with my other line, sir. Is that okay?
No problem, no problem.
All right,
I'm
sir.
with you. 100%.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. All right, phone lines are open, Nigerians. 081702940077. That's the WhatsApp number to call to join this conversation. Or you just follow the link waiting for inside the pinned post. The link will bring you straight into the studio, make you for free join the conversation and join us live for inside the studio. So the link is already highlighted. You can see it, and is also highlighted in the comment section. In fact, it's pinned in the comment section, so you can quickly join in the conversation and be part of the conversation that we're having tonight. There's a lot we ought to have talked about, from the fuel import duty and all that to others, but this conversation don't take over almost everything we want to talk about. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir. We're taking our calls now. Yes, welcome, sir. Mr. Charles. Yeah, Mr. Charles, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Good. You see, all what Dr. Catch is saying are the truth, nothing but the truth, 100%.
So help him God.
Amen.
That's just an enlightenment. Sir?
When Buhari, that 1983 coup, when it took place, that coup basically was done by Brigadier Joshua Nimen Dogoyaro, General Sani Abacha, General Magoro, and Babangida. So Buhari was GOC 3 mechanized brigade in Jos when that coup took place. He wasn't much aware, but the reason they gave him the head of state was because he was the highest ranking officer as at that time. And he was a real tribalist, a religious bigot. That I know, and I said it one time in your platform. Yes. You see, the reason they gave Buhari because he was a form of a fundamentalist, a real one.
This one where they talk, if they call you, may come explain tomorrow. Go fit come. Not as on my platform, they carry the talk more.
Buhari is a fundamentalist. This man was just telling you what he is. It's not a hidden thing. You know, yes, you know, Buhari had 4 daughters. That Yusuf was his adopted son. from his sister.
No, now Aisha Buhari daughter now. Sorry, Aisha Buhari's son. Now Aisha Bonham now. We not saying get other children from me, other wife.
That was before the coup. Before the coup.
Okay, before the coup. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had 4 sons of the first wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 daughters, you mean? Okay.
Yes. So along the line now, when Buhari became the head of state, you know what he did?
No.
He put Shagari in house arrest and put Ekweme in the prison. The reason he does that, just to make Ekweme not to become the president, because after Shagari must have left, the turn was to be for Ekweme and Igbo man, the Christian, to be the head of state, president. He taught that agenda. When Buhari was overthrown now by Babangida sent his 3 boys, Major Abubakar Omar, Abdulminu Aminu, and Major Laban Guadabi, to arrest Buhari. But he still continued with the Islamic agenda. Yes, you see, a lot of us Christians are very docile with Nigerian politics. And that is why it pains me a lot that what is really happening. In the real sense of it, Nigeria is a Christian nation. Let me want to see you. Go to Adamawa, most of them are Christians. Even Bauchi, they are Christians. Borno, they are Christians. Plateau, they are Christians. What do you call it? Benue, they are Christians. Southern part of Nigeria are Christians. The only way you have a high concentration of Muslims, you get them in Jigawa, maybe in Kano. But even in Kano, the houses in Kano are the Shia Muslims. Why the Shiite one are the Fulani Muslims?
All right, kindly be quick so that I'll take other calls. Nights don't come so that people they worry to call me well so that the people got us.
So that's all in a nutshell. The Christian Association of Nigeria must begin to speak with one voice, because we are always having a willing tool in the southern part of Nigeria to foster the agenda of the Muslim ticket. That's our problem. Until we Christians realize ourselves and say enough is enough, let us speak with one voice. Then we cannot overcome this anomaly.
All right, thank you.
Look at them in the southern part. We have your Okus of Dima, we have Roger Sokorocha. All these are people who are always following Fulanis to do agenda in the southern part of Nigeria, which is very bad. We have them all over. Even Tinubu cannot foster insurgency because he rode on Buhari's back to enter that presidency. Buhari carried him on his back and put him there, so he cannot do anything.
All right,
so
thank you.
We're in real trouble in this country.
Thank you.
Until we realize we are as Christians, speak with one voice, and run a Christian agenda, we cannot go anywhere.
But if you run a Christian agenda, you also do against Muslims too now. The day against that unity who they talk about. But I appreciate you. Hello, good evening and welcome. Good. Please speak up. Kindly speak up. Yes. Good evening. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Dan.
Oh, hi Dan. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, I would like to contribute as an ordinary Nigerian.
Go ahead, please, very quickly.
The whole thing is this: we continue saying that this is an agenda of maybe coup. If we do not pay attention or to listen to maybe the language of the country, we will not even understand what is there. Because for us to tag this issue as coup, to me, I don't see it as a coup. Because one, if you look at majority of these persons in which they are pointing out to you, these are persons in which maybe in one way or the other, something might have happened around their locality or their, let me just say, from the middle belt, if I want to tell you the truth. So we cannot tag them as Muslim issue.
No, but they're not all from the middle belt. Yes, I know Sarawa is middle belt. The plateau is middle belt.
If you say Gombe,
okay.
The part of Gombe you are talking about that he is from, I can refer to him as from middle belt. Even the one from Katsina, in which is even very, very close to Buhari, I can see him as somebody who is different. When we talk about Buba Galadima, there are a lot of things that Nigerians don't have. All these things that we are seeing now started in 1998. It's not today. The Sultan that is there, he knows a lot about all these things. Buba Galadima himself, he knows about all these things. The remaining out of the 36 people that are controlling the agenda of colonization of Nigeria, in which Buba Galadima was talking about, that they are 33, but actually they were 36. They are now remaining about 27. He is very, very aware that yes, if it would have been, if they are mentioning that these persons are people that know something about the coup, there is no way some of these persons will not be complaining. And again, why should they even be mentioning that, okay, this other person is in the office so that you'll be close to Nuhu Ribadu, if the coup happens, you should kill him. People are not asking questions, they just tag everything as if, okay, maybe it's an agenda of something. Or they are not seeing it that, okay, even if it's a coup or if it's not a coup, that why is it even happening? There are a lot of questions to this thing. But please, let's not use that word that, okay, they are Muslim. One thing you should know about the Christians, maybe even in the military, these are a group of persons that most of them, they are somehow a little bit religious. To just involve themselves, even right from day one, people like Aguironsi and all these people, not that we don't have strong Christian soldiers, maybe in the army, but their own way of thinking and their own way orientation about life is not just about.
So what is your point exactly? Is your point that there was no coup against President Bola Tinubu, or is your point that just hold on now? Is your point that there is no jihadist agenda or Islamization agenda like Dr. Kacha said? What is your point exactly? Kindly make it clear.
My point is that let's not tag it as maybe if it's a coup, that maybe it's an Islamic agenda or a Muslim agenda.
So what is it? If it is not, then what is it?
It could be people that are aggrieved about what is going on in the country. Maybe people that, okay, see themselves that, okay, this.
So how come most of them are Muslims? Are the Muslims the only ones aggrieved? Only about 2 Christians in their midst, thereabouts, based on the list. I'm just asking. I'm my work now to ask question based on everything I see. So where you get about 16 names and you get less than 4 of them will be Christians, about 4 of them, the rest of them are Muslims. What do you say about that?
Even if all of them are Muslim, do you think that is all?
Why did they not do that during Buhari's tenure? That's another question. Yes, why didn't they do that then?
Definitely, you understand one thing with the Muslims in this country, especially. They believe that, okay, once you fight your fellow brother who is a Muslim, you are against Islam.
Is it not the same thing we're talking about? If they cannot fight their brother, and it is now that things are, they think so. Wait, Daniel, calm down. You the contract, calm down now, calm down. You admit that things were hard under Buhari's regime, right? And they ought to have acted during Buhari's regime, but they don't want to act against their brother. But they feel that things are also hard now. It is safer to act under a southerner than to act under their brother. Wait, I'm coming. Is President Bola Tinubu not a Muslim? So why own case they different? Why they go want to do this kind of thing under internal? If all these rumors are true.
That's what I'm saying. That's the other aspect of it that you can say, okay, this is totally wrong, even if we want to think about that.
And then you're telling people not to also believe in any agenda with all these ones where they happen like this. And this one where you don't also confirm by yourself.
So we should just tag it as a Muslim, maybe.
I don't know. I'm not tagging. I haven't said anything. I'm just asking you. I just they pick holes from waiting both you talk and other people talk. And they ask questions. Okay.
So that's my own case.
All right, thank you.
From that angle,
thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate you. All right, Dr. Katch, would you like to react to that quickly while we go to other calls, or you want us to take all the calls before you respond?
Wrong, I've heard, but what we're saying, the fundamentals that we have had have not changed.
Okay.
Since from the Buhari's agenda, what Tinubu is doing, your question is very pertinent. Is Tinubu not a Muslim? So why will these Muslims gather to do this? But to be honest to you, in my own thoughts, I thought this will happen. Because Tinubu's policies, the minute I saw Cruz arresting, in my own calculations, the Fulani Jihad, I knew this will happen. Because
So you think this is a kickback?
It's a crazy thing to stop a people who think that they already have a momentum. The jihad is a historical thing. It's been there. So can you imagine what Baba Dema said? They now went and brought Buhari out for him to lead the jihad to reclaim Ilorin. And just not just reclaiming Ilorin, he's now starting to reclaim the rest of the country. Don't you understand that? Baba Dema's words are very, very pregnant. So Buhari didn't reclaim Ilorin, he came to reclaim the rest of the country for the Islamists. And this is where we are today. And when Tinubu came and kind of in their calculation, slowing down the jihad, now you saw this.
So another question I would like to ask you very quickly, sir, because people just, my phone line is a buzz badly and time don't go. Do you think that this is the reason why some group of people can vehemently say that Peter Obi can never be president of Nigeria? Because the powers that be will never let him be president. Do you think this may be the reason?
Well, the powers that be, that it is wrong to think that the Muslims have captured the country forever and so we Christians should not do anything. That's not true. The Christians must continue because Obasanjo is a Christian. Goodluck Jonathan is a Christian. You should not give up. Continue to fight. You don't win by running away from the arena.
Okay, sir.
Obasanjo is a Christian.
All right, sir. Let me quickly
Goodluck
take.
Is a Christian.
Let me quickly
and
take.
If those Christians will win, other Christians will win.
All right, sir. Let's quickly speak to a bit more people, then we get back to your response. Let's see who we have here. T.Y. Danjuma, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Precious. Good evening, Dr. Catch.
Dr. Catch can hear you. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I think the reason why there appears to be doubts as to whether there's a coup or no, or if this is a phantom coup, is because the government has not been transparent in a way that people can, in whatever it says. There's a trust deficit.
But there has always been trust deficit anyway, so this not be the only government with no trust. Nigerians don't trust people on our government now.
No, but we trusted Yaradua.
Okay.
At least we trusted Yaradua. I think we trusted Shagari. You know, even though we may not trust his lieutenants, you know, Marudiko, Akinjide, Adesa Akiloye, all that. You know, I think the problem really is that if you look at the pronouncement of the government spokesperson, you know, following trying to explain the reason why the president didn't, you know, where our independence anniversary was low key and the president didn't, there was not this pomp and pageantry that used to accompany the celebration. If you listen to what the spokesperson for the government said, and you place it side by side with what the spokesperson for the military said, they are miles apart, and they contradict, you know, one another. So, if you look at it, you would see that somewhere, somehow, anybody who is reading in between the lines would see that they are not telling us the truth, because the government cannot say that the president, you know, is tired, they want to take some time and rest, and then the military, which is under the government, is saying no, that you know, the president has an engagement, an international engagement, and so that was giving press.
Mr. Tiwa, we know that history, just to save us a bit of time, because some people don't know. I don't know whether I see a video where I posted earlier today, an interview where someone came along you get with somebody, and the person talks, say, you shouldn't have expected the presidency or the military to say otherwise, or to tell the international, the whole world that, oh, there was indeed a coup threat in Nigeria. So
I have said it. I have said that in this platform. I
So I
said that
just
in the
wanted to
platform.
establish that so
Remember?
that we don't bother, detailing that. Time don't go. We could go straight
Yes,
to the points.
yes, but there's a way the government can explain that, in a way
You
that
expect
it will
them
be
to
balanced.
admit it. They cannot admit it. What you're trying to do
No,
is
no,
to
no.
make them admit
I
it.
listen to.
Even in the
listen.
US where you are, they cannot even admit that kind of thing. See,
Okay,
people say now
okay,
Nigerian government, I know how to
okay,
deflate conversation. Your US too sabi deflate conversation. I be no. They sabi
okay. Now,
systematically.
now,
This
now, that's not. That's
because of
not. That,
national security, so they must handle it well.
that's not. They didn't handle it well, obviously. That's why you have all this speculation. There's a way. I listened to Bolaji, spokesperson for ADC, when he spoke. There's a way you deal with these issues, not contradicting yourself and then giving people the reason to doubt and to speculate, and create this, fear and trepidation within Nigeria and outside Nigeria over whether there's a coup and whether there's not a coup. Because there's implication, there's economic implication, there's a political implication.
The
And now,
money
if you
go
look
buy
at what is
private
happening now,
by any government.
if you look at what is happening now and the releases, the names that you just run through, and people have been arrested, and the accusations, of complicity by a former governor and all that, and the retirements and all that, you cannot but arrive at the conclusion that there's a coup. So what it means is that the government told the people a lie. There's a way you would have couched it. There appears to be a few issues here and there, but we're investigating and we'll address Nigerians when investigations are completed. Simple. And so you won't leave room for speculation. That is part of the problem with this government.
No, so
That is part
saying
of
that also, it's like admitting. Saying that is as good
Well,
as
you have not admitted.
it appears to be a problem and that we investigate and go, come on, you don't already admit see something happened. So
Okay.
they don't even want to
If you
admit it
now
at all. Do you blame them for
okay
that?
now
What
if
to your
hold on.
investors?
Now, if it is established that there's a coup and you have told the country that there's no coup, how do you look?
How is it
How does the
established?
government look?
If the government themselves not tell you how you could take establish them. Now, what
No,
is
the spokesperson,
establish them?
the spokesperson has said there's no coup. The spokesperson has said there's no coup. That's what he said.
That's what I'm telling you. As long
The
as
military said there's no coup.
people,
It's people who failed their exams. They just failed their exams and but they're investigating. How can you investigate people who fail exam? If they fail exam, they fail exam. What are you investigating? So let us be realistic. This is wrong. The handling was very wrong.
where people do understand.
That's my position.
Thank you.
The way it's handled, very, very wrong. And I think that the earlier they come with the truth, the better. So that's better. So, but again, like I said, you don't believe this government. Whatever it says, people don't believe. People will be speculating, and that's wrong. Okay, make I leave her there because there are people who are calling. Then good night.
Go chop suya. Yes. You don't chop suya today. Go chop suya, my brother. Chop suya. Use one wine, step on down. Thank you so much, sir. All right, let me take. Hello, good evening, and welcome. I left you on the line. Good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening, Precious.
Yes, you're welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Calling from the United Kingdom.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Shoot.
Okay, then. It's all right. Just a quick one. First of all, you guys should bear in mind that there is no trust. No Nigeria has a trust on the government at the moment, the government at present. Nobody has a trust on that government. That's number one. And second, you guys shouldn't forget that the former president was a military officers. The present one is not the military officer.
So
you understand? The other one was a retired military. So I will borrow what Mr. Catch said. He said, you see, when they went to make, the other guy you brought that first of all made the broadcast regarding the way the OPC were dominating the Fulanese and all that. He said, when they make an attempt that they said they shouldn't dare Obasanjo, they cannot face Obasanjo. You understand?
Go ahead.
Yeah. He used that word that they shouldn't temper Obasanjo because Obasanjo will be very difficult for them to deal with. Then they backed off. So, like the present one, for me, I think they underrated him. They underrated him as well. Even handing over the power to him and everything. They thought maybe they can manipulate him or whatever. They can't mess around with him.
That was why they attempted maybe, if anything of such. So that's the thought. And also bear in mind that during the past one, the situation of the country wasn't worse. It wasn't the way things wasn't worse the way they are now. Things were still bad. Things were bad, but not like the present one now, because everybody all over now is crying. So like they say, if these things are about to happen, they normally weigh the support of the people. About I think there was an interview Babangida did. He said when they want to do a thing like that, he said they weigh the country. They see the sentiment of the country. They try to study the sentiment of the country as if they attempt how is it going to be. So that is it. So when the country is already on its lowest, so they work with those sentiments. So you guys should also bear that in the mind. So the other guy that called, that was just trying to dust around. So that was why I said, okay, let me tip in this. So there are just 3 points here now. The past ones, like Obasanjo, the other one, they were military. So they understand themselves. So this other one, they kind of underrated him.
And Jonathan, what happened?
Like Jonathan played ball to them. If you look at it on Jonathan aspect, most of Jonathan works was towards the north.
All right, thank you.
Towards the north, and Jonathan also protects. Jonathan puts a lot of people to make sure the way he tried to. At the end of the day, those same people were the ones that still betrayed him.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, brother. All right, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Hello, good evening and welcome. Good evening, sir, Mr. David. Mr. David, you don't reach the motto. Hello. Hey. You joined the live show and you're busy pressing phone. Mr. David. Okay. Oh, yeah, let me leave him and go and talk to someone else. Mr. Edwin, good evening and welcome.
Yeah, Precious, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Naniju, good evening.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you.
Yeah, Precious, just a quick confirmation. The last time I spoke to you, I confirmed that there was a coup attempt. So we need not debate that. And you can now attest to that fact. I confirm it to you.
Go ahead,
and
sir.
then I want to speak about the Islamization of Nigeria. That is truth. That is basic truth. The aim of the core north is to Islamize Nigeria. And that I've confirmed several times on this your platform as well. And then number 3, I want to confirm a third assertion that I've made here on this your platform, that there are big plans, comprehensive plans to eliminate Christians in the Middle Belt, Southern Kaduna, Southern Adamawa, and Southern Borno State. And they are true. There is nothing that isn't true about that. So if we like, we can debate about the Islamization of Nigeria, the elimination and annihilation of Christians in the Middle Belt to the Kingdom Come, and the fact that the Northerners don't want to seek power to the South at any time more than maybe 4 years. Then we can be thinking that maybe we do not know what we are doing yet if we don't realize that at this point in time. So those are the 3 basic things I want to confirm, and that is the truth. And all that Dr. Naniju has spoken about or has espoused this evening, I concur with him. And these are basic facts. It's only those Nigerians, young Nigerians, or those who haven't studied the history of Nigeria and the like that doesn't know all these basic facts. So we will keep debating this, and not until we go back to the Constitution, that Constitution that I emphasized the other time. If we don't go back to that Constitution, we are merely just joking about Nigeria. We go nowhere. There wouldn't be no progress, nothing, until we revisit that 1999 skewed Constitution handed down by Abdul Salami Abubakar, written by Professor Yadudu, the man who said he turned down the appointment of the VC of one of these universities. That man who said that man wrote that Constitution single-handedly, just at the Constitutional Conference of Abdul Salam Abubakar just came and ratified it. The man wrote that constitution single-handedly in collaboration with the military hierarchy. That was what in collaboration with Abubakar, and then gave it to Obasanjo. The only sin of Obasanjo and Jonathan, those who happen to be at the helm of affairs when the military, when the civilian dispensation came on board recently, they did not see that. They didn't revisit that. Instead, they were selfish. They wanted more terms. Obasanjo wanted a third term, and Jonathan wanted a term that maybe to a large extent rightfully belonged to the North, based on the gentleman's agreement we had. So those were the bane of the Southerners, and that is what we are still suffering from today. If we had revisited that constitution, amended the constitution, I'm sure the Northerners will be wanting to Islamize Nigeria, fight for control of Nigeria, because there wouldn't have been anything at the center to fight for. Because everybody would have been autonomous, would have all be free, be independent of one state or the other. It's a federal republic. But are we practicing a federated unit? No. So that is my short submission, Precious. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good night. Yeah.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Tony from Chicago. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Precious.
Sir.
And good evening, Dr. Cash.
He can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, first of all, Precious,
Sir?
first of all, I agree with all what most of the things Dr. Cash said, but I doubt about the PPP rising again. And Dr. Cash, I watched him several times. I listened to his Facebook. He always has strong belief in PDP. Probably there's something you know that we don't know. But as far as I know for today, PDP, I don't think they are making any headway, unless Dr. Cash knows. We don't know. So that case, and again on the attempted coup, I believe that one thing the government don't want to make it open, it's because nature of the coup. I listened to Yusuf Ahmed about a few days ago on Trust TV, and he was totally like getting crazy. Why? That's where I know he said that the nation has northerners. Why? He's looking at it is like Tinubu agenda against the North. It's not about. I think that was what the man was. I listened to it. I think I heard it.
That is Baba. That is Yusuf Baba Ahmed.
Yes, he was saying that why must it be northerners?
But if na northerners Kukuma do the same, may they take because of say may they no feel bad, no call them. That's a question where people go ask.
No, you know, something like that. The nature of it, because of this, they probably they are seen already. Let's not explode. That's why they're getting it gradually. First of all, they say these are officers that failed the exam. Now, gradually, we are understanding that no more officers have failed the exam. There's not like somewhere. So the graduate, they will finally come and expose. But if you say that time, it might be that the North will say it's against the North. They didn't do any coup. They might explode the country. I think they are doing their work gradually to get all the information they needed to get to be able to convince we Nigerians that actually look at what happened. Look at what happened. I think that's why I just want to contribute. And I thank you so much. And I believe whenever you want to get Dr. Cash, please can you make it early, please, so we can listen to you very well and then contribute our own.
Thank you. So this one a makeshift conversation. You know, say I did on Johnny Waka. I did on Johnny Waka mood. So
please, where are you going to? I usually let you go to.
I see I say na Johnny Waka they do. They walk around the world. I don't cross 21 countries like this. It remain more. I'm telling you, I've been on the road and I'm still going to be on the road till almost December. So please, you guys will pardon me. It is Johnny Waka mood that I am in.
Okay,
thank you so much. Good night, sir. Bye, sir. All right, Dr. Catch, let me let you conclude on what people have said, sir.
Well, you can see now that your audience understands Nigeria's problem. You know, the Islamic agenda has been on for a very long time. And but the problem with that Islamic agenda is the democracy. Nigeria's number, once you get into a democracy, the truth about the numbers will start to show. That's why the movement like free and fair elections. So you can see now where we are. There are Christians all over northern Nigeria, in Borno State, in Adamawa State, in Gombe State, in Plateau State, in Benue State, in Kaduna State. All over the place you will see them. And but the Fulani will want to pretend like they don't exist. They don't matter. So you can understand. That's why since after the end of the Civil War, the Fulanis have been promoting only the Yoruba Muslims, not Yoruba Christians like Awolowo and Co. So the divide is still there. And that's why during the elections, most of the Yoruba Christian leaders were with Peter Obi. But the Fulanis were with Tinubu and Co. They wanted Atiku, they wanted Ahmed Lawa, but Tinubu's money won the day. And Tinubu has gotten in, and they don't like
his money won the day.
And because they don't like what they see, they now are trying to take back power. In a Christian majority country, look at the composition of those trying to do coup to take over power. Doesn't that tell you something? They still want to entrench. This is the idea why history was removed from our school curriculum was they don't know how to teach the history of the coups. Plus, they don't also know how to teach the history of Biafra. A lot of the things that made Biafra possible are still prevalent in today's Nigerian society. This is our problem. So when are we going to start nationhood? If we live the way the Fulani intend our country, we will not go anywhere. We will not go anywhere. So I believe something must give. I believe in Nigeria. I do not agree with those who are preaching separatism, because I think the fundamental issues can be resolved when we share ideas and we understand and we say, no, stop this. Let us have free and fair elections. Free and fair elections will repair Nigeria. It will solve our problem. Today, you can't have free and fair election when the umpire is selected by one of the contestants. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So you can understand.
So are you saying you don't have confidence in the new INEC chairman? He's a very trustworthy person, sir. Peter, sir?
I don't have confidence in the INEC. I don't have confidence in the judiciary today in Nigeria. And this is where the problem is. The judiciary, even if INEC tells you there must be electronic transmission in their catalog and their rules, the judiciary are so weak, politicians can induce them to say, no, that's a wrong law. So you have, and that's what I said, the minute Buhari removed Justice Onogen, he pocketed the judiciary, and then that was how we lost the judiciary. So the INEC itself, it's the way it is presently constituted, you can have free and fair election. That's why you're seeing all the governors, out of fear, are running into the president's shoulders so that they can gain protection because of what happened in Edo State. You know, they wrote the results, they went to court, the court justified the stealing of the results. And this is so, once you have a country that is that arranged, there is no way you can have justice. Our fight is big. And look at the neighbors. We have very prominent neighbors in Cameroon. How can such arrangement, give anybody confidence about Sub-Saharan Africa? It's no good. Sub-Saharan Africa is a problem. The war we're talking about, Islamization, the Fulani war, didn't just happen in Nigeria. It happened across the Sahel. It's there. in Burkina Faso, is there in Mali, is there in Mauritania, is there in Nigeria. So when I started talking about it over 10 years ago, was because of what I saw in Mali, what I saw in the Republic. I knew we were coming here. And then when we have Buhari, a jihadist, as president, that's why all through I kept talking about the Fulani war, the Fulani monologue, as I called it on television. Today, Nigerians have woken up with the international community to say that I was right. And I'm still telling you, you cannot do a jihad without the accompanying genocide. Jihad has to have a registered genocide for it to be successful. So they don't care. These things are collateral damages that come with jihad. The genocide is real. Nobody should try to deny it. Nigeria has had genocidal killings of Christians. As I speak to you this minute, most of those Christians are still living in IDP camps, and the Nigerian state is doing nothing to bring them back to their ancestral homeland. So why should anybody deny it? What for? What am I going to gain or lose if I speak the truth? What will the Nigerian state do to me? I cannot afford to not to speak the truth. So we have to speak this truth to tell our children that this is a problem. Because the questions will be from our children, Daddy, what did you do when this was going on? I can't afford to tell my children I was quiet. I kept quiet. Why? That I was afraid. That's why I did not speak. No, that's totally unacceptable. That's a reaction. So we are now talking about it. I am not one of those who were afraid and due to fear they didn't talk. I'm on record. I have been against it for over 12 years on television, and I have been consistent about it. But I can also confess to you that I have had scars. I've been wounded. I've been severely victimized by the Nigerian state under Buhari for the truth that I've told about the jihad. Today, the world is discussing it. And that's why we should help to speak up so that those who are killed should not be denied. So that those who are living to this minute currently in IDP camps should not be denied. They are Nigerians too. And we should not pretend that they don't mean anything. They mean everything. They are as Nigerian as me and you. So why should we not speak about their plight? Why should we pretend that they don't exist? Why should we speak as if what happens to them doesn't matter to us? It should. Why was I very persistent? Very, very simple. I knew if Benue fell, then the east, where I come from, would become vulnerable. So I continued my campaign. And as I can see now, Benue is temporarily saved. But I also commend the efforts of the Benue bishops who must have the energy to go to the south. I was, by 2013, in the United States, speaking to audiences, telling them about this jihad. Today it is here. So why was I saying that by 2013 in the United States? I saw what happened in Central African Republic. I saw what also happened in Mali. I noticed when they did the 2015 peace agreement in Mali. I know how Buhari wanted now to bring those refugees from Mali and spread them all across Nigeria. That was why he was looking for land for the grazing reserve, in which he intended to take land of every local government in Nigeria. We have not forgotten it. So let us continue to speak to these truths so that, as you can see, Tinubu, when we talk, he now reacted to it in regards to the clemency granted to the people we thought shouldn't get clemency. So the government, but if you keep quiet due to docility, due to fear, things will go wrong. speak up so that the children will say, Daddy, what did you do? Did you keep quiet? Was it due to fear? Or were you also docile because you were compromised? That's why we must continue to speak up.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you big time. Thank you for making our time to join us. I hope we can make it a date next week, Thursday again, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem. And we will continue to speak as far as the problems exist.
Yeah.
We will speak to the problems until we find closure.
Thank you. Hopefully, I go don't slow down small on my journey worker so that we will get more time and start early enough. I appreciate you big time.
It doesn't matter wherever the journey carry you go. There's a
reason
for
there.
your worker about.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The beauty is we now have technology that despite where you are, we can still share thoughts.
Absolutely.
And still break words with each other.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. I wish you a very good night rest. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your insight always. It's always a pleasure having you on this platform, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and see you next week, Thursday.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. All right, Nigerians, that'll be it today on the show. I'd like to say plenty thank you to all of you who joined us. So if you have not followed me like your village people, what do you gain? What do you gain? Go and subscribe now. Click on the subscription button. It doesn't cost money. It is free of charge. Just click subscribe, like, share the post. Chicken now. Like it, share it. You've not even liked it since, and you've been busy listening to Dr. Catch. You never like him. Is it good? Or you go and like it. Like, share, and of course, we continue to preach the gospel. We go make our country better. We're not there yet to talk down on particular people. We just want waiting to make Nigeria better, because if it's better, now all of us will go better for. And then if you've not bought suya and you're in the United States, you're on a long thing, go and buy suya and have peace. Tomorrow is Friday. You should actually just book suya so that you receive it on Friday. So that you use it and relax. You see how juicy and yummy the suya is. I have tested my own suya. I've not even told the people. I'll give you all the details tomorrow. I don't test my suya. And to be frank, the suya na chop one, chop two. Whoosh! On Friday, maybe when Prince Chilaka come, he said don't taste it own. They'll go talk about the experience of this suya together. If the United States is shipping for free across all the states of the United States, he's shipping for absolutely free. So you can call him up on 469-678-6245. He's in Dallas, Texas, by the way. So reach out to him. 469-678-6245. Shipping is free across the United States, and you can buy from as low as $20. But you will try to make $100 now, so that it will reach you well. I love you guys and I appreciate you a big deal. I'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. And I do hope that Prince Francis Chilaka will be able to join us tomorrow evening. So until then, have yourself an amazing night rest. I'm sorry you couldn't jump in on all of, or chime in rather, on all the other headlines, but some of them we still be very relevant. So we'll talk about them tomorrow. Good night and God bless you. Protect your life.